Here are 12 terrifying animal encounter clips to remind you not to mess with animals in the wild. Number 12. The clip begins with a group of tourists riding in an open jeep taking pictures and videos of a tiger they encountered during their trip. After a while, the predator finally notices the group of tourists following it, and it immediately goes into attack mode.
Oh my god, he's gonna jump on us.
The driver steps on the gas in an attempt to run away, but it makes things worse, as it only activates the animal's predatory instinct. The fast chase eventually turns into a slow one, with the jeep driving very slowly while the animal follows closely behind. The passengers tremble in fear as the tiger doesn't take its eyes away from them as it proceeds to do this. Thankfully, they managed to outrun the predator and they escaped unharmed. Number 11. This next encounter starts off with a group of people recording a man being investigated by a lion after he jumped into its enclosure. The man can be seen unafraid of the situation, probably because he was drunk during the encounter, as mentioned by the original poster. Lions are not naturally aggressive towards humans, but zoo attacks happen more often than wild attacks, which makes this encounter much more dangerous. At first, the lion only appears to be investigating him, but this is later proven wrong, as moments later, this happens. After the predator tries pouncing on him, the man becomes much more aware of the things that could go wrong and becomes scared. The clip ends abruptly, and what happens next remains unknown. Number 10. A man can be seen going near a small riverbank trying to catch baby alligators to show on a video for educational purposes. After the man locates the baby alligators, he immediately gets to work catching them, and at first the mother doesn't seem to mind.
And we stood pretty close to them. In an effort to show you what beautiful and perfectly designed creatures they are, I attempted to handle one. At first,
he has a hard time catching the baby predators, and it takes him a while to do so. Just enough time for the mother to notice.
Guess on the embankment.
Baby alligators make certain sounds in times of distress, which is exactly what happens in this video. The man quickly lets go of the baby alligator, giving the predator the chance to scoop its young and return back to the water.
Here. That says everything. Did you hear that little noise that he made?
Despite the speed of the animal, he managed to escape with his body intact. Number 9. A group of tourists can be seen taking pictures and videos of a large tiger blocking the dirt road they are on. The encounter doesn't really scream danger at first, as the tourists are in the safety of their jeeps, as well as being at a safe distance. Despite this, though, they should remain seated, as tigers are very fast and would quickly close the distance between them and their prey. One of the tour guides gets too excited, though, and decides it would be a good idea to get out of the jeep.
You can stand and take picture, no problem.
We might get a mauling.
Taunting the animal by looking directly at its eyes, things quickly get out of hand when the predator decides to do something terrifying. Luckily, he escaped just in time, shaking it off to avoid scaring the tourists. Number 8. This encounter begins with a tourist filming a large elephant, minding its own business, searching for food near a road. The tourist remains in the car, thinking that the elephant would not be able to harm them while they're inside the vehicle. Elephants, especially males, have no trouble flipping and destroying a car, with most males able to completely wreck an SUV. The car's engine sounds eventually anger the elephant, leading it to do something very horrifying. Despite the large mammal chasing him, or her, the tourist surprisingly manages to keep recording steadily as they try to run away. The animal eventually stops chasing the tourist, which is extremely fortunate. Number 7. An elderly couple can be seen watching a herd of elk from a dangerously close distance, spelling disaster for both of them. At first, it looked like the herd didn't mind the couple getting close to them, but things quickly turned bad when the bull did this. A fully grown bull elk averages 5 feet at the shoulders and can weigh between 700 and 1,100 pounds. A bull this large could quickly injure any elderly person getting in the way of this very aggressive animal. Fortunately for the couple, the charge was only meant to warn them. Number 6. In the beginning of this crazy animal encounter, a man can be seen filming a deer blocking the way, preventing them from walking further. The animal refuses to walk away, despite the hikers throwing things at it in an effort to make it go. Seconds pass by, and the deer is still standing its ground. Because of this, the hikers are left with no other choice but to continue walking. This proves to be their biggest mistake, though, as when they get too close, the herbivore instantly goes into attack mode. During the rutting season, deer become very aggressive and may attack both people and dogs, which probably explains this animal's behavior. The deer eventually leaves the hikers alone, and they are able to continue on their path. Number 5. This next clip starts off with a man recording himself via GoPro, biking around a forest filled with tall trees and bushes. While biking, he notices some strange sounds coming from the woods, making him turn to his right, only to find this approaching. He immediately pedals faster, looking back every once in a while, only to see the giant predator still hot on his trail. He tries his best not to get tired, knowing that if he gets tired and slows down, there's no way of knowing what would happen next. His bike escape attempt gets foiled, though, as a branch blocks the road, forcing him to abandon his bike and escape on foot. Thankfully, the bear runs away and does not pursue the poor biker any further. Number 4. This next encounter begins intensely right away as it shows a large elephant attacking an open jeep filled with terrified tourists.
Hang on, hang on.
The elephant keeps attacking the Jeep and almost topples it over. Despite this, the tourists remain calm and keep filming the encounter, putting their trust in the driver. Unfortunately, the clip ends abruptly, and what happens next remains unknown. Number 3. A GoPro camera attached to a stick is being dipped into a pool filled with alligators, trying to capture these terrifying animals up close. At first, the camera doesn't see anything, but moments later, something extremely terrifying happens. The man behind the camera tries his best to capture footage of the predator attacking the camera, eventually capturing this. He then manages to wrestle the camera out of the predator's jaws. Number 2. This frightening encounter starts off fairly normal, with a guy recording himself kayaking in the sea, just minding his own business. At first, nothing really seems to be out of the ordinary, when all of a sudden, something extremely terrifying happens. He quickly paddles to get away from the shark, but the predator is determined to get a taste of the kayaker. The shark does not attack again, concluding this terrifying encounter. Number 1. This short yet frightening clip shows an alligator with its jaws wide open, ready to bite anything that comes too close. It would be wise not to get too close to an alligator's open jaws, but someone thinks otherwise. Thankfully, he got his hand out of the way just in time and leaves unharmed. Thanks for watching until the end. Check out this other video you might also like. I'll see you there.